Can you debug Python bugs that are OS specific? Have you ever wondered if you can debug Python bugs that are specific to an operating system? This is a common question for many programmers. Let's break it down and see how you can tackle these issues effectively. Yes, you can debug Python bugs that are specific to an operating system, but it requires a good understanding of how different operating systems affect your Python code. Python is designed to work across various platforms, yet some bugs only show up on certain operating systems. This happens due to differences in system calls, file system behavior, environment variables, path formats, or external dependencies. When your Python code interacts with the operating system, that's when these OS-specific bugs often arise. For example, handling file paths or permissions can behave differently depending on the operating system. So, how do you go about debugging these issues? First, you need to reproduce the bug on the target operating system. This is crucial because some bugs may not appear on other systems. You can use physical machines, virtual machines, or containers that are set up with the operating system in question. Next, take advantage of Python's built-in debugger, which is called PDB. This tool allows you to set breakpoints, step through your code line by line, and inspect variables. You can insert a command like breakpoint or import PDB set trace, in your code to pause execution. This lets you observe the program's state and see how the operating system might be influencing its behavior. If you prefer a more visual approach, many popular Python integrated development environments, such as Visual Studio Code or PyCharm, offer integrated debugging tools. These tools come with features like visual breakpoints and variable inspection, making the debugging process more intuitive and efficient. Another step is to check your code for operations that depend on the operating system. Look for file path manipulations, environment variables, or system calls. You can use conditional logic or logging to ensure that the correct OS-specific branches of your code are being executed. Adding logging statements can also be very helpful. Capture details about the environment, such as the operating system name, platform, file paths, and permissions during runtime. This information can clarify why your code behaves differently across operating systems. Using virtual environments is another great practice. They help isolate dependencies and ensure that your Python environment is consistent. Differences in installed packages or versions can sometimes lead to operating system-specific bugs. If your Python code relies on external libraries or system utilities, make sure they are installed and functioning similarly on the target operating system. Variations in these components can lead to failures that are specific to a particular operating system. Lastly, if your program crashes, you can use post-mortem debugging with PDB to analyze the traceback after the failure. This can help reveal error conditions that are specific to the operating system. In summary, debugging Python bugs that are specific to an operating system involves running your code on the affected system, utilizing Python's debugging tools, and carefully examining OS-dependent code and environment factors. By mastering these debugging techniques, you can effectively identify and resolve issues that only appear under certain operating systems.